Hello, everybody, and glad to be here amongst you all. I bring to you a feminist enterprise, Women on Wheels. Feminism, as somebody said, is a radical notion that all women are as well human beings. And that is a notion that we try to make a reality for many poor urban women who live in Indian cities. A little bit about myself. I've worked in India and parts of Africa for the last 2.5 decades, primarily on women's issues. And we founded this enterprise in 2008 in New Delhi, where I'm living with my mother and my daughter, and a community which supports our initiative collectively. So before I go on to share about what inspired us to start this initiative, I would like to say that what angered most of us who started this initiative is the inequalities that we live with. And primarily, I would say women form one of the largest minorities in the world. And what this inequality and minority status for a lot of women in urban poor slums means is that they don't have options to equal livelihoods. A lot of time the options are within traditional and informal sectors, long hours of work, little pay, often in unsafe and abusive work conditions. And that is the other aspect of the inequalities is also violence. As per the UN statistics, nearly 1 out of every 3 women in the world has suffered violence in her lives, which makes it 1 billion women across the world. And what it means is having violent and unsafe homes is women are not allowed to make free choices about livelihoods. Having violent and unsafe public spaces pushes women further indoors, deterring them from coming out and working at any time of day or night. So what inspires us as ideas of control and freedom and rights, women who are free, women who have control over their lives, and women who are able to live livelihoods with dignity. So the idea of Women on Wheels was conceived where we work with poor urban women living in slums and train them into non-traditional, innovative, bold new livelihoods which are remunerative, such as driving. And in trying to achieve their own livelihoods with dignity, they are also able to offer safe and alternate transport to other women who live in the city and work in the city. So how do we do this? We have an institutional structure, which is a hybrid model of a not-for-profit and a for-profit working together, leveraging on their respective institutional strengths towards the same goal of Women on Wheels. So Azad Foundation, which is a not-for-profit partner, moves into the slums, inspires young women to think of new dreams, come in, and prepares them with the regular licensing and all other trainings as empowered, qualified, professional women chauffeurs. Sakha, which is the for-profit partner, then steps in to provide employment options to these women on commercial terms. The idea is innovative for more than one reason. One is the structure that we have deployed, which is a hybrid institutional structure. That is 2 organizations, not-for-profit and for-profit, working together for the same goal. The choice of livelihood itself is driving is something that strikes at the heart of patriarchy. One of the most critical things which get denied to women who are oppressed is mobility. So an opportunity to drive a car and be behind steering wheels of a car 24/7 is an empowering experience which very few other livelihoods can give. And the socially disruptive agenda, very deliberately we say that our enterprise is about disrupting the status quo. It's about redefining boundaries and about breaking the glass ceilings within which the women work. And how do we do this? Sakha has 3 verticals, 3 in its bouquet of services. Chauffeur placement services, which employs women in full-time jobs, annual contracts. Sakha cabs for women, by women, a 24/7 service, and Sakha chauffeur on call. In our chauffeur placement service, obviously one of the largest segments of clientele is families with children, followed by professional women. When we started, of course, we had to convince people why they had to recruit women drivers, and we are happy to say that over the last 3 to 4 years, we now have a wait list of people who would want to employ them in many parts of the city. Under our cabs for women, we have a small modest fleet of 13 cabs, planning to go up to 20 by the end of this year and gradually increasing our strength. But despite a small size, we have been able to stir up quite a storm in the capital region of India and around cities around, given the high media visibility that the initiative has had. And also, if you would Google women drivers, you would find Sakha topping the Google charts as well. The Sakha chauffeur on call is a premium chauffeur on call service, which was the latest introduced and the most profitable amongst the 3 services. We are a premium chauffeur agency we have been able to handle the social challenges, withstand the fuel price fluctuations, etc. But what does it mean to women drivers and to women users of our service? One of the most obvious differences that it has meant is economic differences. Women who have been able to complete the training and take employment as drivers become principal breadwinners in their families, earning more than what their fathers would have been earning after working for 10 to 15 years living in the slums in the city. And not just gaining access to income, but also through financial literacy, being able to control the income that they earn and being able to make decisions on investment and spending. The other very in-your-face kind of change that women go through is the personal transformation that they're able to achieve. And it's almost magical what hope and confidence can do to a person, which has to be seen to be believed. A not so obvious but a very subtle and strong change is when women living in slums start to look at themselves as citizens of the city and of the country and are able to have a stake in making the city a better and a safe place for other people to be in. And they do this by participating in campaigns, by voting, by holding local leaders accountable, etc. And for the women users of our services, it has meant being able to move out at all times, send their children out to school, to tuition classes, to have a more safer, a more inclusive city that they can be part of, which we can see in the repeat clientele that we have had. And more than once, more than twice, we have had gifts of vehicles from women and men who have used the services that we have to offer. So I would like to thank you here and invite all of you to our city and to use Sakha services when you are there. Thank you very much.